Imagine trying to explain your entire life without writing a single word. No books, no messages, and no writings. That's how every human expressed themselves during ancient time. Humans didn't invent language. We had been speaking for tens of thousands of years. What we invented was a way to make our words survive us. Before writing existed, every story, law, and promise had to be remembered. Knowledge was passed from parents to children by memory alone. That worked for small communities, but as villages grew into cities, memory wasn't enough. People needed a reliable way to record trade, taxes, land, and laws. The birth of writing wasn't driven by poetry, it was driven by paperwork. Around 8000 BC, people in the ancient Far East began using small clay tokens to count livestock, grain, and other goods. A cone might represent a measure of wheat, while a sphere could represent a sheep. These weren't words, but they were the first steps toward recording information outside the human mind. By around 3400 BC, in Sumer, Mesopotamia, merchants and temple officials pressed symbols into soft clay tablets using a reed stylus. This system, known as cuneiform, is widely regarded as the world's earliest writing system. At first, the symbols represented objects and numbers used for accounting. But over time, they evolved to represent sounds, names, and ideas. Humanity had discovered a way to preserve language. Around 3200 BC, ancient Egypt developed its own writing system, hieroglyphs. Unlike cuneiform, hieroglyphs combined pictures with symbols representing sounds. They decorated temple walls, royal monuments, and tombs, recording everything from religious beliefs to the achievements of pharaohs. Even today, many of those inscriptions remain readable after thousands of years. Writing continued to evolve across the world. By around 1200 BC, the Phoenicians introduced one of history's greatest innovations, a simple alphabet with around 22 symbols representing sounds instead of entire words or ideas. Learning to write suddenly became far easier than mastering hundreds of complex symbols. The Greeks later adapted this alphabet by adding vowels, and the Romans modified it further into the Latin alphabet, the ancestor of the one you're reading right now. Not every civilization followed the same path. Around 1200 BC, ancient China developed its earliest known writing on oracle bones used for divination. These characters gradually evolved into the Chinese writing system, one of the oldest continuously used scripts in the world. As civilizations expanded, writing transformed nearly every part of human life. Laws could be copied instead of memorized. Merchants could track debts across great distances. Scientists recorded discoveries. Historians preserved the rise and fall of kingdoms. Religious texts spread across continents. Ideas no longer disappeared when the person who spoke them died. The invention of paper in China, around 100 BC, followed centuries later by Johannes Gutenberg's movable type printing press in 1450 AD, made writing available to more people than ever before. Knowledge that once belonged only to kings, priests, and scribes slowly became accessible to ordinary citizens. Today, writing has evolved again. We type on keyboards, send instant messages across the world, and even ask artificial intelligence to help us write. The tools have changed, but the purpose remains exactly the same as it was over 5,000 years ago, to preserve human thought beyond the limits of memory. The next time you write a single sentence, remember you're using an invention that transforms sounds into symbols, symbols into knowledge, and knowledge into civilization itself.